You watched my Honda Pilot video about the whining noise. This is the other video where the customer complaint says that the wipers don't work. So I've already checked the 30 amp fuse down there. That is good. There's also an intermittent wiper relay underneath the coolant bottle. If you're wondering where, because you can't find it and it says it on the owner's manual, remove that little cover for the PCM and remove the coolant bottle. It's just hiding underneath there. It's really easy to miss and you can't find it. And it's not labeled which one's the wiper relay. I just put on the wipers on and off and feel which one's clicking so you can tell which one it is. Other than that, I looked at the history of this car. This thing got a wiper linkage replaced. This customer hasn't driven very far or not much. There's not much, I think it's been like 20,000 kilometers on it since then. Doesn't get driven very much, but yeah, wiper linkage was replaced and didn't replace the wiper motor. So this is why I recommend replacing the wiper motor, because you can replace the linkage and if you reuse the motor, you don't know when it's going to fail, right? So this is a clear example of the wiper motor failing when, you know, all they did was replace the wiper linkage or only wanted to replace the wiper linkage. So I always recommend replacing both, and this is the reason why. So yeah, if you're looking for that intermittent wiper relay, it's there's a cover for this PCM that you have to remove underneath the coolant bottle, and it's right there, and it should be that bottom one right there. And there's this little cover that covers it. It's not labeled which relay it is, so just so you know. But yeah, so I did check it and it does click when you turn on the wipers. So I'm just gonna remove that cowl, right? Get to the wiper motor and then check power at the wiper motor connector and make sure everything's going there. And if everything's there, there's ground, power, and it's all there, then we know we just need a wiper motor. So I removed the cowl and there's our wiper motor and there's the connector. With the wiring diagram, you can see which wire is which for which setting on the dash, on the multifunction switch, which are for your wipers. To remove this cowl, right? This leather strip has the clips, and this clips through this and into these holes. So that's what it's holding down. So what I do is you get a tear needle nose, you pinch it, pull it out so you don't break it, and then you can reuse it. Yeah. So or make sure you don't tear that. Make sure you don't tear the strip. So. I'm going to check easy black wire on the connector. That should be my ground and my only ground wire. So I got my test light connected to positive, and then let's just touch the pin, see if we have ground. And my test light lights up bright, so I got good ground. Now we're going to check the other wires for power going into the motor for whichever settings it needs to go. I switched my test light over to the ground, and my green and black should be power, green and black. So middle one, right? That should be with key on, right? So key on, and yep, my test light lights up, so that's good. Now I'm gonna check the other ones. So what I want to do is, before I check anything else, I want to make sure this motor moves. So what I want to do is power the blue-yellow wire that goes to the motor, and then if it's in the park position, or not in the park position, or in the run position still, in the wiper motor, it should ground it through this one. So I'll be going through the black wire. So let's take a look. It's blue, white, and what is the other one? Yeah, blue, white is that's what I'm grounding it to. And then the blue, yellow, there's the two top wire, and it should, when I power that blue yellow wire, it should power that motor. Let me see if I can get that on the pin here. Okay, got it clipped onto the pin. Make sure I don't touch that other one. So you see the green light. Right, the green light on power rope says I got connection there, and I supply power to it. See if the motor works or it moves. I don't know how I can show that, but here it goes. There's power, and yeah, no, not moving. No, no movement in the motor. draw it out, because Hondas like to go through different components to ground things depending on which position, like, you know, your relay's at, your switch is at, or your, you know, wiper motor's at. So just sending power and ground to the electric or the wiper motor and it doesn't do anything, just tells me there's no no movement in the motor. So it just, you know, helps with the headache of trying to figure out which path is taking it to ground and stuff. So that's yeah, we're just gonna put a wiper motor in there. So I got the new wiper motor. It's like a couple of days later. I'm just gonna plug it in and make sure it's in the park position. Turn it on. Right, I already removed it, so I'm just gonna plug it in, make sure it's in the park position. Key on. Make sure it works, and it does. You can see it move. Right. So yeah. Also, when I removed it, I tried to turn it by hand, and it wouldn't even move. It's like seized. Like right here, I can't even turn this thing. It won't even rotate. So yeah, that's why I recommend replacing a motor with the linkage. But anyways, I gotta get this thing done. We're pretty backed up, so yeah. All right, since this thing didn't fail in the park position, I'm gonna have to try an error this thing, because apparently you were supposed to scribe a line to. This thing isn't marked, so there's no indication of where is the down position. So you were supposed to mark it before taking the motor off, but since it failed in the up position, I'm not sure where the down position is on this. So it's going to take a couple trial and error. I'm going to plug it in, see where it lands, and then keep adjusting it until it's in the proper position. All right, so I feel like I got it in the position where it might be correct. So goes up, but you can still see it kind of goes up a little bit. So let me just do that, and it goes out and it comes up slightly. So yeah, I just maybe need to move it like a pubic hair over a little bit, and then that way it doesn't go down and then come up slightly. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, one more try. In the wiper arms lining up, I meant the linkage lining up to the motor where it parks. So it's not the wiper arms I'm talking about, it's the linkage to the motor where it spins. As the motor just spins around and this moves the arm that way, if you know what I mean. So yeah, this is perfect. It just goes up, right down. It doesn't come down and then slightly up, you know. All right, so since I got the motor up, I thought I'd try and see if I can turn it, but as you can see, I can't even turn it by hand. So yeah, I could have just taken it off and put a vice grip and see if I can turn it by hand, but it's definitely seized in there. So yeah, I guess I checked it with the electrically to see if it works. But anyways, either way, it's a same outcome. Still replacing that motor, but it's good to check though. So of course, before I put everything back, I kind of scooped out all the organic material that's in this gutters here. So now toss it in the garbage all in there. And then before I put everything back together. So I think that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.